this is Lobos talking to Lobos. I'm Ayani, and I am here with
Mariana,
Laurie,
and Alana.
Today for our episode, we're going to be interviewing Miss Brown. Why don't you talk a little bit about yourself?
Hi, guys. First and foremost, I'm so grateful to be able to speak on this podcast, Lobos Talking Lobos. So thank you guys so much for having me. Well, let's see. I am a mother of two. I have a son and I also have a daughter. My son is 7 and my daughter is 2. And they're pretty much my world. So I think that has a lot to do. And I'm married. I don't know if there's anything else or any other questions that you guys have, but that is those are my lifelines. So they mean a lot to me.
So, Miss Brown, how did you find out about LearnShriver?
So I learned about LearnShriver through Indeed. So I searched through Google and went through Indeed, and you all popped up needing a school social worker.
Were you a social worker before you came to Learn?
Yes, I have been a social worker for over 10 years, and there's different hats and there's different roles into social work. So I was able to do mental health, working for a hospital through Amita Health, prior to working for schools. But the last district that I worked for was Grays Lake District.
How do you feel about being a social worker at LearnShriver?
Oh my goodness, I love it. I was greeted by all of our staff. They gave me a nice, warm welcome, and I can't thank the scholars enough because everybody was so kind and graceful, and giving me their trust to be their support system. So I'm very grateful to be able to work along with Ms. Avalos, our other school social worker, who's been here for a few years. So it's been a nice ride, a very nice welcoming, and I'm still getting my feet wet, but I love it.
Why did you decide to become a social worker?
Well, when I first went off to college, so I went to Eastern Illinois University in Charleston, Illinois, and it's about 2.5 hours away from Chicago. And this was prior to my graduate degree. But I really didn't know what I wanted to do when I first went off to college. And I had this an advisor who gave me like a list of careers and multiple questions about, different jobs and different careers and everything. And I've always loved working with people. And I wanted a job where I wouldn't get bored and that I could work with all, right? So children, adolescents, adults. And social work was honestly one of the careers where, you could work in military service, you can work in prisons, you can work in hospitals, you can work in schools. Like there are so many different ways to serve others. And when I found this career where I knew I could wear multiple hats, I'm like, oh yeah, this is the one. And I never stopped. I just kept going. So I have different licenses for different things, so that I never get bored, and I'm making sure that I'm just serving different communities.
What is your goal as a social worker?
My goal, that's a really good question. I don't think that I've ever really thought about having a specific goal, but I will say one of my main goals is for being as a school social worker, our scholars reaching their fullest potential, I would say.
At what age did you discover that you wanted to be a social worker?
At what age? So I was 18 years old. 18 years old is when I decided that I wanted to become a school social worker.
Final question, Ms. Brown. What do you do as a hobby?
As a hobby, I like to, I am starting to get back into reading. That has been like my new hobby. What I typically like to do is puzzles. I get a kick and a joy out of that. But reading, when I get a little time after I put my kids down, if I physically can't like hold the book, if I just want to like relax and like that's a part of my self care, I will just lay in bed and listen to the audio, excuse me. And I've really been enjoying that. So I have two books that I'm reading right now, and it's been fun. But I'm actually happy that you guys asked me that question because I think I'm going to go probably pick up a puzzle after school today.
We are done for today. Thank you for attending our second podcast, Ms. Brown.
Of course, guys. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, Learn Schreiber, for listening to our podcast today. Have a nice day.
Bye.